Ashton, and today I'm going to show you the fourth exercise in the Horse Magazine's exercise series, and it's about pelvic mobility. So we're going to use one of these big fit balls. It's going to help us out. And first of all, we're just going to go backwards and forwards. So I'm going to sit on my arms sideways to you so you can see what I'm doing. So first of all, like all these exercises, we want to find our neutral spine. So the natural curves in the back, the chest is wide, the shoulders are just relaxed down, not set down too much, just relaxing. But your length comes from the waist area. You're trying to keep the distance between your hip and your rib as far apart as possible. It doesn't come from up here. You want the sternum to stay connected in. Right, so the first one we want to do, make sure your feet are hip joint width, your knees are hip joint width, and we're in good alignment. So the first one I want you to do, we're just tilting the pelvis forward. I'm going to put my hands on my shoulders. First of all, to check that my shoulders are still, and secondly, so you can just see what's going on here. So I want the pelvis to tuck under and then forward. My shoulders stay still. This is working around my body. So I'm tucking under, coming back out, tucking under, coming back out. This is to make sure there's no blockages through my spine and that my lower back is soft enough to work with the horse. It's really important. So the other thing you want to be thinking about when you're doing this is the length through your body. Don't kind of slouch and then stay slouched, because it's a lot harder to get a nice loose lower back when you're collapsed down on top of it. Lift yourself up out of the pelvis. Okay, you're tucking in and up. Good. So the second one, you can do about 10 or so of those. See how it feels. Don't overdo it. Just do it so it's comfortable and you can feel whether there's any blockages. Can you go back further than go forward? And always make sure when you do that sideways, you're not going back too much, because you're going to put too much pressure in your lower back. So just watch out for that. So now we do the sideways one, side to side. So again, I want the shoulders to be still. I'm checking my alignment, feet hip joint width. As on my knees, I'm lifting up out of my spine, my chest out of my pelvis, my chest is wide, my shoulders are relaxed down. And now I'm just going to kink one way with my hip and the other way. Again, I want my shoulders to stay still. It's almost a little bit like belly dancing. You want to disassociate the top half of your body from the lower half. So just kick out one side, bringing the hip and the rib close together on one side and then the other. See if one side's easier than the other. Are you going, a little bit with one side and a lot with the other? This will give you a lot of feedback as to how you sit on your horse and how you're riding a horse. We're looking for evenness, but it's rare that it will be even, but we want to get it even. So this is why we do these exercises. The shoulders are still. So make sure you're not doing interesting things like this. It's always a very popular one. Just the waist. Okay. The other one you can do are big circles. Big circles, like you're doing the hula. In fact, I don't really know if this is how you do the hula, but hey, let's go with that. So tuck in. So you don't want to be cutting corners on that circle. You might get to a point, say about here, and it's like, oh, it's really hard to push that around. Just slow it down and work through it. Just play with it and work through. Okay? So again, play with the exercise. Go in both directions and do the same amount on both sides. Keep lifting up out of your pelvis, connecting your sternum into your spine, and making sure, key to all of this, that your core is gently sinking in and your pelvic floor is gently lifting up. It's just so important. And of course, breathe at some stage. So the other one I described in the magazine is like the cantering. So if you sit, I'm going to straddle the ball a little bit now, sort of more like a canter position. I know it's not perfect. Nothing replaces the horse really, but we can do what we can with the ball. And it gives you the freedom that you don't have a horse to worry about under you. So I want you to pretend there's a clock face. If there's a clock on top of you, there's 12 in front, 6 behind. You might want to do it opposite, but this is how I like it. 12, 6, 3, and 9. I had to think about that. So now you're going to go 5 to 11. So you're moving the pelvis from number 5 to number 11. So getting diagonal movement. Again, the shoulders are nice and still, and the pelvis is moving with the ball. Or the ball with the pelvis, whichever way you care to look at it. So we're going this way, Again, the shoulders are still. I'm lifting up out of my pelvis. My core is on. My pelvic floor is gently lifted. And I'm getting softness through the middle part of my body. And then we can do a plank change. Set yourself up the other way. And then we're going to go this way. So on my clock, that would be 7 to 1. If your clock's the other way, that's okay as well. So again, you might find one way is easier than the other, and you might even get to a stage like, oh gosh, I can't even move this way. That's okay. That's probably the side your canter's not so good to that side. So play with it. And you might want to do a few more repetitions to that side to get it more even and to get it to feel more natural for you. So doing some canter strides. Okay? So play with those exercises and get nice and loose through here. We still want the core engaged. We want to be able to control it, but we want it to be able to move with the horse as well. So for other tips and other on how to do the exercise and what to watch out for, grab yourself a copy of the September Horse magazine. And until next month, be nice to your horse.